How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another...
Lucky lost hero of the Golden Age.
Yes, this is another Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. And today we are doing an interesting one. Well, not so much interesting, but an unusual one.
You must be my lucky star, 'cause you shine on me wherever you are. I just think that you...
Stop that!
What?
Why are you singing Madonna?
Because I think Madonna is great.
Ugh. I'm glad we're getting done with Lucky Month because I don't have to listen to you sing anymore.
Do you really think being done with this month is going to stop me from singing?
One can only hope.
Let's go ahead and review this hottie.
Don't do that.
Golden Age girls are hot, and I like looking at them.
You like it because of Jungle Girl appears in it.
I like me a jungle girl.
Anyways, we are doing Lucky Wing. Not very many stories. There's 3 of them. What's interesting is that I could not find her very first appearance, but I found another comic publication who renamed her and recolored her. Actually, renamed and recolored her first appearance. So I was able to cover the first appearance of Lucky Wing by covering Toni Luck. I'm going to explain this, but I think it's rather funny. I searched high and low for her first appearance. Many people acknowledge it, but nobody else has it. So I think it was really interesting that I was able to find her first appearance from another publication who renamed her. I think stuff like that in the Golden Age was more common than we might think. Now, a lot of people would reprint stories from the Golden Age. I've seen that a lot. But a lot of times they wouldn't be renamed. So I find it interesting that this is actually the second character that we're covering in Lucky Month who has actually had stories reprinted but come up under another name. That happened back when we did Lucky Coin. So let's go ahead and cover this heroine maybe, but we're actually covering 2 when we're covering 1 because of the rename. So let's go ahead and get into this for Lucky Month of Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. Lucky Wings. Lucky Wings first appeared in Atomic Comics number 2 in 1946. The original publisher is Green, and she is created by Jerry Iger, which I believe I mentioned his name before, but he was actually going under a pen name of S.M. Regi. I think it's Regi, R-E-G-I. Okay, so Lucky Wings is a reporter. Now, she has a number of appearances, but only 3 stories. She appears in Atomic Comics 2 through 4, and they say that she also appears in Voodoo and Voodoo Annual. Now, Voodoo and Voodoo Annual were both done by Ajax/Farwell Company, and they took her second story for Voodoo number 1, and then they reprinted that one for the Voodoo Annual. The Voodoo did more horror stories, which were big in the 50s, and Voodoo Comics started in 52. They basically took her second story because it had to do with being buried alive in gravestones. I guess these crooks were hiding... The story wasn't explained very well, but I think that these crooks were hiding ill-gotten gains inside the coffins with dummies, and she stumbled upon something going on with that, so she got herself inserted into the mix and exposed them. So I don't know if in number 2 or 3 she was the cover. I have not actually been able to find Atomic Comics number 2. I have searched everywhere, could not find it. But I was able to cover her first appearance because this character was reprinted and renamed as Toni Luck. Now, Toni Luck is Lucky Wings, just recolored, and Toni Luck first appeared in Zango Jungle Prince #1 in 1948, published by Fox and created by Glenn Dale. Now, the they changed a couple of things around, but Toni Luck and Lucky Wings are the same person. Now, they took her first appearance because it is a jungle story, so they included it in her Jungle Prince story. And as far as I can tell, nobody reprinted her third story. So, first story, 10 pages, a jungle story. Second comic, 6 pages, where I don't know if she was the featured. It's a weird conjoining story. And then her last appearance, where she was the featured cover and the featured story, was 7 pages. And I love how it ended. The other 2 stories, they just say the end. But in the end of this story, it says that Lucky Wings will appear in more Atomic comics. Which is funny because there was no more Atomic comics. Not only did she not appear, they ended after #4. Now, she could fly an aircraft, and in her first appearance, she was an undercover singer. She basically took out low-level gangsters, people who were trying to cause subterfuge from behind the scenes. But she only had 3 stories. So, let's go ahead and cover the first issue with Toni Luck. So, with covering Lucky Wings, we are also covering Toni Luck. Now, I want to point out something I found the splash page for the very first appearance of Lucky Wing, and I want to show you right next to the opening for Toni Luck how these 2 openings differ. Now, they're mostly the same. The first paragraph, exactly the same. But in the second paragraph, it says, at the same perilous time, our plucky Lucky Wing started out with her sealed assignment. And it says, our plucky Toni Luck bravely started out with a sealed assignment. Now, I think the reason they did that is Toni Luck's name is shorter than Lucky Wing, so they needed to fill in a gap. So they put bravely started out. And the very last sentence, it says, here is a breathless account of one gal invasion on Japs and Jets. Can't say Japs. But the very last sentence of this splash page, it says, here is a breathless account of one gal's invasion at Jet Junction. So you can see where these 2 splash pages are different. Since I haven't been able to find a comics #2, I can't tell you all of the differences. But we're just going to go with the name being changed. Later on, they would give the name to her publisher, Mr. Harrison, and another reporter that she worked with named Danny. But they tried to build on her. They were going to do more with her if they kept printing. But the 3 stories is where it ends. So let's cover the first appearance of Toni Luck, which, like I've said, will cover Lucky Wings. And then you'll know. Well, this is kind of embarrassing. I actually found the first appearance of Lucky Wings. This is way after the editing process. I'm not reshooting this whole thing. I was flipping through more pages of Atomic Comics #4, just on a larf, and for some reason they reprinted the first appearance of Lucky Wing. So I got a couple of screenshots so you can see how it looks different. But like I said, I'm not reshooting this entire video. So we're just going to keep it like it is because it is covering 2-in-1. But here are a couple of images of the original first appearance. So let's go ahead and continue with what I originally did. Shortly after our elation, May 8th, 1945, better known as VE Day, that's the Victory in Europe Day, the fate of major American cities dangled on the weakening thread that was being woven into the somber patterns of destiny. At the same perilous time, okay, bravely started out with a sealed assignment from her editor, a mission too dangerous for government agents to fulfill. Here is a breathless account of one gal's mission at Jet Junction. And this is a very unusual splash page and has nothing to do with the rest of the story. Okay, so we see her checking on this plane because, as we figured out, Miss Luck. I'm, I'm not. I mean, she's Lucky Wings, but we're going to refer to her with what Fox was calling her. She can fly a plane, and she gets this letter. The crystal birds to me sees you. Please come at once. Alora, who sees in the darkness. So she sees that she has a letter from a fortune teller, and she goes to speak with her. The fortune teller says, I know where you're going, even though you have a sealed assignment, and tells her, let's see, Nicobar. Nicobar? Okay, Nicobar. She's like, okay, you've tricked me, but you won't get any more out of me. Now, she said, the fortune teller says that she took a ring from her brother and she wants to give it back to her. And Toni asks if she can look into the crystal ball. Great Scott, Japs, you can't say that nowadays. I don't go for magic hokum, but I'll deliver the ring for you, though that's no trouble. Alora, thanks you, child. Okay, so she says, whew, what an experience. Let's see. The only reason I'm reading this is important. Let's see. Yes, my orders are safe, but where's my where's my pencil? Drat this torn lining. Drat this torn lining. That is a Chekhov's gun. If you're not familiar with the term Chekhov's gun, you can go look it up. But I'm more than certain that the torn lining would count as a Chekhov's gun. She's looking over her orders, and as she takes off, we go to Nicobar. There, see, you are the snake goddess priest Zeno. Tell me, if it within your power, where is the sacred ring? Hear me, Lerock. The spirit of the fire tells me that the ring will return to our lands in the hand of a white woman who flies on the wings of a bird. And we see that Miss Luck, she flies into the country. They're talking about how to rule the tribe on the island. You need to have the snake ring, and he needs it before the new moon. The new moon, that's 2 nights from now. Now, she is in a town near the coastline, and the seal orders have her undercover as a singer, basically. Sing out, baby. Forget your name is Toni Luck and make it sweet and sad. And she says that she wishes she had another cover. Now, while she's singing in this, some of these businessmen start to meet. Bah, the captain will be here to check our work, and already we are 3 days late. If he finds out that, hush, even walls pick up stray tidbits of valuable information, no one may know, or valuable information, no one knows who may be a Yankee agent. Curse them all. And at that time, Lerock shows up, and they start to have a conversation with him. Have your tribesmen decided to return and finish the glorious work they started? Not yet, friends, but tomorrow. Um, so they're talking, but they're not explaining very much. So there's nothing to pick up from this conversation. Now, later that night, now that she has some free time, she decides that she's going to return this ring back. Um, this guy, let's see, are you Daro? Your sister Alora asked me. Alora, please enter. Now, she's trying to give the snake ring back, but before she can, let's see, so she has the ring, but Daro will never get it. He gets hit by a poison dart and falls down dead. She picks up the ring and stashes it in her purse. She figures it's getting a little too dangerous for her. As soon as he gets out, say, who's this? Who are you? You have the sacred ring of the snake god. It is rightfully mine. And she turns over the purse and dumps out the contents, but the ring seems to be gone, and he curses her for using her magic. So they take her back to the area where the tribesmen look at this pit of snake. Look at the pit. Look into the pit. These snakes are sacred. They will destroy you and the spell you use to make the ring disappear. Tio can manage this. I have other work to do. So the priestess starts talking about how, let's see, you hear the drums. Our hunters grow restless unless the ring is returned. They ask for blood. And she starts to peek around the cabin while this priestess is going on. And she finds a loose bamboo pole, and she's able to get herself out. Now, if only luck is with me. Oh, supernatural luck. No. She just got lucky. The natives are beating the drums. This one guy, this Japanese guy, he doesn't believe in this whole trouble with a ring. He thinks it's too much of an issue, but he's like, but Lee Rock's like, look, they're not going to listen to me unless we have the ring. So she escapes and starts running into the woods. Lee Rock, the white girl, has escaped. She used her magic and escaped. We must find her. What's this? They speak of the American girl from the cafe. Very interesting. We must investigate. So they start looking in the woods to find her, and then she stumbles onto what looks to be like I want to say an airfield, but I don't see a runway, but it looks like they're putting together planes. Great Scott, what's this? We'll be at, let's see. Well, I'll be. It's a launching platform for rocket bombs, so the enemy are at work here too, huh? So, a snooper. So the Japanese guy that he was saying, they speak of the American girl. He draws on her and says, look, I have a gun and I enjoy using them. Don't make me. So they take her and they return her to the other businessmen and the priest, not the priestess. The rockets must go tonight. They cannot afford to be delayed. One snooper may mean more. Our aim will not be so perfect with our unfinished platform, but we'll do this time. Now, they say with her capturing Miss Luck that they're going to need to rush the launching of the bombs, but since they're being rushed prematurely, they won't be accurate. And they're going to use her to help. Would you like to see our new rockets, Miss Luck? One will destroy an entire city. Tonight, your war centers, New York, Detroit, Washington, Chicago, all will be removed from the map. Why, you low... Well, you might not. You just said your targeting is going to be off. But then at that moment, the natives that they spoke about suddenly burst out from everywhere. And they surround everyone with spears and they have shields. Hear my words. This is the magic of the girl that has caused the ring to disappear. It is she who must be sacrificed. Now, Lee Rock is trying to get the natives to turn against her, and she says, oh no, I know the ring. I know where this darn ring is. It's in the torn lining. Torn lining! Chekhov's gun goes off. Of my purse, I hope. If it's not, I'm sunk. So she pulls the ring out and she says, Here He lies. Here's the ring. I am the new snake god priestess. So the natives start to cheer for her. It's just like, hey, she's the new priestess. We'll listen to what she says. I like this. Seize them all. The 2 foreign men are prisoners. The others I leave to your own justice. Such a duty gives us pleasure, a wise judgment. So she says that she's going to take the Japanese guys back with her, and she leaves the ring, and they say they will guard it. Later, back in the States, well, you have my report and my prisoners. I wonder, what will the natives do to Lee Rock? Bet it wasn't pretty. Do you know you don't make a bad-looking priestess at that? Oh, reporter Toni Luck. That sounds like a little harassment. You're really objectifying her. That's 1945. Women were objectified back then. And that is the end of the first appearance. Some of the names were changed because, Fox, I don't know if it was a copyright issue. She is public domain. Anyways, that is a reprinting of the first issue. And you can see the other 2 stories are nothing like this first one. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you've really enjoyed Lucky Month. I got one more in before the month was over. How's that work? How's that work for you? Okay, like I said, in June, we are still going to be doing Timely Comics. If there's another Timely character that you want to see before we reach the month of June that you'd like me to cover their very first appearance, because you either aren't familiar with it or you're not exactly familiar with it, you can go ahead and fill me in or let me know, and we'll fill you in on their origin stories. There is a lot more characters in Timely Comics than I realized when I very first started reviewing Golden Ages. I had no idea. But there is a number of Timely characters. So if you want to see one specifically, let me know. Month of April is coming up. We'll figure out something for that one while we get ready to work into Timely Month. So until next time, I'll be seeing you.